Kegs and bottles all locked up tight.
Heave away,
And another one to get us through the night.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
We filled our pockets and we never got caught.
Heave away,
And emptied them again at the nearest port.
heave and haul away.
Find us a buyer and we'll find a way through.
Heave away,
Leave it to the maid and a fearless crew.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
Through the glass of the customs come.
Heave away,
We'll never let the king's men steal our rum.
heave and haul away.
Scuttle the hulk as the maid goodbye.
Heave away,
I never thought I'd see the boatswain cry.
heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid.
Now we're hiding in the tavern among the kegs.
Heave away,
Drinking all day trying to wet our legs.
heave and haul away.
Though our next ship may be strong and true.
Heave away, we'll always be the milkmaid's crew. Heave and haul away. Cast her away, brave boys, we'll find another when we've been paid. But there'll never be another craft like the crafty old milkmaid. Hoy!
Tis a damn tough life, full of toil and strife we whalermen undergo. And we don't give a damn when the day is done how hard the winds did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic around with a good ship taut and free. And we don't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with the northerly gale towards our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with the northerly gale to the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds, them tropical lands we soon shall see again. Our stunsail's bones is carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades is awaiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic around, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui.
From Tortuga's port we put to sea and sailed for 16 days. In the biggest storm I'd ever seen, we almost lost our way. When a call came from a deckhand, boys, I think she's going down. But don't you fear, there's enough from here to drink until we drown.
Oh! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, early in the morning.
So each deckhand grabbed a barrel, broke the seal and took a swig, and soon their screams turned into songs, their panicked work turned into jigs. The first mate bellowed orders, ever trying to save their skins. Any drunken wretch the captain catch, or beat or limb from limb.
Ho! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, early in the morning.
Every man continued drinking, all their duties long forgot. They were deaf to every order till they heard a pistol shot. The captain stood on forecastle, swung the cat above his head. Back to your posts, or by my ghost, you'll wish that you were dead!
Ho! What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, early in the morning.
Every drunk received a beating, some of the drunker managed to. The captain kept an eye until he'd sobered up his crew. He then retired to quarters, put the rum upon his shelf, sat in his seat, put up his feet and drank the
Curl.
A toast to the Piper, to curling, and to the Orlando Curling Club for hosting the 3rd annual Pirates of the CurlRibbean Bonspiel. We are here live in sunny Daytona Beach, Florida for the finals. It is finals Sunday, and in our featured match,
keep going, yep.
Looking to take home the whole thing, we have the R2-D2s versus the Young Bucks and Old Salts. We'll be bringing you all the action live as it occurs. We'll be updating you on all of the other finals for the B, C, and D events going on at the same time. We're glad that you're joining us here. I am Brian Bird. I'll be giving you the sights and sounds, and with me in the booth, manning the mixers and the video cameras, is the father-son duo of Jim and Tom Windsor. We'd like to thank the Piper, Reginald Loud, for those wonderful opening ceremonies. And as we get underway here throughout the entire afternoon, I'll be giving you some fun facts, some history lessons of curling, as well as telling you all about the teams that we're playing. The R2D2s hail out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, coming to us all the way from the West Coast, whereas the Young Bucks and Old Salts are Orlando Curling Club's own. So it is a tale of opposite coasts here.
Just clean it, clean.
The competition should be fantastic. We'll hopefully be bringing you a couple of interviews. We always have our fifth and final facts to deal with. And if you'd like to follow along with all of the live updated scores, check out bonspieler.com. That's BONSPIELER.com. We'll be keeping you apprised of all of the action on the ice. On sheet A, we have Captain Pickleback taking on the Drunken Tortugas. On sheet B, it's 5 sheets to the wind, taking on Burned Rocks Tell No Tales. On sheet D, it's the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club taking on the Scurvy Peaches. And taking a look at our featured match, it looks like Orlando sitting 1 with that nice draw.
Let's hack, good hack. Tap it here when we're gonna get the kiss. Yep. Yeah, hard. Roll now. Roll. Adam roll. Adam roll.
And a solid takeout there with a nice roll to the button. Or San Francisco leaves them sitting shot stone. Before we get too far underway, I'd like to thank the Andersons, Jeff and his wife Ruth. Ruth has been helping out with all of the behind-the-scenes work, while Jeff has been our draw master and timekeeper, helping the whole thing run smoothly. And not to be outdone, we have the Kavanaughs, providing so much of the hospitality, all the food and the beverages that these fine curlers could ask for. We appreciate them very much. The whole thing would not have worked without them.
Same weight.
Glad to see my research crew has stepped into the booth. Glad to have you here, Eric. If you'd like to let us know who you are and where you're watching from or who you're rooting for, give a shout out. We do have live chat activated on our YouTube stream. We will be monitoring your comments, your questions, even some concerns. If you have any corrections to things about the players or teams or the clubs, do let us know. We always like to make sure that we get the best possible information out there. So it's still Orlando sitting 1 with the shot mostly on the button there, with San Francisco right in the forefoot and just touching the top 12 and top 8. And that takeout missing just to the right there. Not exactly what the Orlando squad might have been looking for. Shot from San Francisco, perhaps not quite what they were looking for. Does protect their stone at the back of the forefoot. Fantastic draw. It does also cover the Orlando shot stone, partially on the button. This just might provide the protection they need to open up the scoring here in the first end. Throughout our broadcast, you'll be hearing from various sponsors and people that we would like to thank. Our first one today is Mott's. The Mott's Food Company, making assorted fruit gummy snacks and applesauce for, well, since 1842. Holy cow! Well, props to them. That's going on 180 years. And if you've never tried those assorted gummies from Mott's, I can tell you right now that they are good any time of the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snack. And that's going to be an excellent takeout from the San Francisco squad. Popping the Orlando stone directly off the button while sitting 3 inside the forefoot. And with their stone on the outside, just touching the 8, San Francisco currently sitting 4. Orlando limiting the damage a little bit, cutting it down to 3. And with that takeout, giving themselves access to the shot stone there on the button.
We're sitting 3 at the moment. Generally fast, slow right now? Okay.
No, I was surprised by both yours and Joe's, because I thought both of them.
So we think 40?
Joe's, he went to 80. We threw a similar shot in the first one. It came up beautifully. The second one did. I think it was a ridging or something. I mean, usually yours the second one. The first one.
Just clean, just clean, just clean. Whoa, look up now, look up. Yeah, man, yeah. Hurry up. Good job, guys.
I'd like to give a shout out to Cecil Roar. Cecil Roar? We're going with Cecil Roar. Cheering on Captain Pickleback over on sheet A. I can tell you right now they're still in the first end and there is no score.
Yep! Yep! Oh, right on.
So San Francisco still sitting 3. Orlando looking for a takeout. They end up crashing on a top San Francisco guard. In fact, it was a shot that they just threw. And it's going to end up replacing their own third stone, so the scoreboard doesn't change. San Francisco still sitting 3 with a stone apiece to play for each team.
Guard did his job. Let's put
end.
another one up. Same thing.
Denise a mistake about that. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, Whoa.
So it looks like San Francisco looking for
Never,
another guard here.
Never, no. Whoa.
Pretty damn good.
Just threading the needle past the Orlando Stone, and they are going to sit low guard, about a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet from the top 12, right on the center line.
It's okay.
And that is going to be a problem for the Orlando rink.
Good swim, guys. I'll take that to the other
Hal
end.
Hackner shot? Remember Hal Hackner shot?
You can see perhaps
I
the
think there's
strategy
only one.
here
Oh,
being
no, there's another one back there. I'll take it anyway.
All right. Let me think. Just wait. Yeah. Let's try about here.
No,
They're going to have to ricochet this shot off of the outside green
And you did
stone.
this a little bit late last game, and I thought it was maybe just the end of the game, which you did now. The further out I seem to go, you're missing to the outside on that one. So I don't know if it's your foot placement. I can't tell. I'm trying to figure it out. But just something to be aware of. It's all good though. Okay.
Orlando looking at a 3-point deficit if they can't make this shot. Trying to ricochet it off of the outside green stone and send it to the button.
Right over.
Sure. Chris, sweep it.
Oh, and it's a beautiful shot. What a way to limit the damage. It's going to just be 1 point for San Francisco.
Okay. No, one.
Off of a beautiful shot. So Orlando avoiding the big end. And as we move into the second, it'll be the R2D2s out of San Francisco. 1, the Young Bucks and Old Salts out of Orlando. 0. I think it's time we introduce you to the teams. Making up the San Francisco contingent, you have lead Adam Price stepping into the hack now for his first throw of the second end. You have their second is May Eaton. Their vice skip is Christopher Mina, and their skip, Jim Muyo, who you'll have to keep an eye on as this match progresses. We'll be running things for the San Francisco contingent.
Okay, well then.
On the opposite side, Orlando is made up of Joe Roberts, Everett Wilson, Sean Novosad, and Dave Papa Horseman. He's lovingly referred to as Papa Horseman here at the Orlando Curling Club, though I have no idea where that nickname comes from. Gonna have to get my research crew. Oh, I'm being told it's because he's a father and his last name is Horseman. That's not nearly as good as I was hoping it would be. I mean, usually a nickname is supposed to be like based on something other than just straight rote facts. I mean, come on, people. I'm He's Canadian, and Canadians are very straightforward with their nicknames.
Right to it! Right to it!
So the question becomes, if you lead a horseman to water, will he drink? Or if you lead a horseman and put on Def Leppard, will he dance? The big thing yesterday was we were talking about the phrase, if you lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink, but if you put on Def Leppard, then he will dance around like a maniac. And you should always put sunscreen on your horse's legs. That is a fact. The zoologist will tell you no different. And I would imagine that the logic holds true for Papa horsemen's as well. Yes, sunscreen very important for Papa horsemen's. As is dancing around to Def Leppard. And Orlando going with the bump of their own stone, using that to take out the back stone of San Francisco to sit 2. Unfortunately, though, they could not get too much roll to separate the 2 stones, and it sets up pretty well for a double takeout. Takeout is very simple. You call up a restaurant, you say we'd like some food, and then they deliver it to you. Actually, no, that's delivery. Takeout is when you go to the restaurant and then just take it home. But in terms of curling, a takeout is when you use one of your own stones to hit one of your opponent's stones and bump them out of the house.
Yep, all the way, guys. All the way, yep, yep, yes! Yes! On the tap, yes, all the way, guys. All the way! That's why we did it. Very good. Good sweep, guys.
My engineer Tom would like to point out that he is a big fan of the combination of shorts with knee socks on some of these San Francisco players. There is a long history of goofy outfits in curling, and this bonspiel has been no different. You can see just on the right of your screen, we have some people dressed up in full pirate garb. It is the Pirates of the CurlRibbean, after all. There was a costume contest last night. We had some fantastic entries. And I am proud to say that my engineer Tom won the award for Ugliest Pirate.
Let's go, no, let's punch this
Which
out.
I'm sure his girlfriend Sarah is very, very happy about.
No line. Might get this. Adam, catch that rocks that goes out. Or that one.
And that shot, probably not what they were looking for San Francisco. Going for the double takeout, they end up splitting their own 2 guards, sending one over into the 12-foot that's going to act as a pretty good protection for the Orlando shot stone. They will still sit 2 with their second stone in the back 12-foot. We'd like to give a shout out to Papa Joe Roberts watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure he's excited for how Orlando has looked so far.
fine.
Try the tap. Nice and tight. Yep.
Just so that
Let's go back, Molly.
confusion can be avoided as we go along. The Orlando squad has a slightly unusual throwing order. Now, normally, a team's order of throws is 2 from the lead, 2 from the second, 2 from the vice, and 2 from the skip. But Orlando does things a little differently. Their skip, Dave Horseman, actually throws the first 2 stones, meaning that their lead, Joe Roberts, throws the second 2. Everett Wilson, their second, throws the third 2 stones. And it is the vice skip, Sean Noasad, who throws the final 2 stones. And that shot from San Francisco there. It looks like it is sitting 1 from this angle. An excellent shot. Being able to be fully in the 4-foot, slightly buried behind a guard. As Everett Wilson steps into the hack. Orlando going straight at it with a takeout, and they are going to miss everything, including their own stone in the back there.
Little too much weight. You don't need any curl when you throw them that hard.
It's on.
For those of you watching while you might be at work, we promise not to tattle.
Might be a little quicker there.
And throughout our broadcast, you might hear some other voices other than my own. We actually have each of the skips of the 2 teams mic'd up, so you'll get to tune in and hear some of the strategy and talk as they give instructions to their teams.
Never, never. Let it hang. Let it hang.
Oh, and a well-controlled draw just gives the San Francisco stone a little bump halfway onto the button, buried behind a guard. San Francisco pulling out all the stops here in the opening stages of this match. We also have a couple of microphones hanging from the ceilings to pick up the sounds of players from all the sheets. Which will hopefully give you some insights as to the goings-on here.
That wasn't quite what I wanted to do. Okay.
And Orlando trying to promote their own guard and run it back into the San Francisco shot. They end up taking themselves out. Although it does look like they've opened up a bit of an avenue to curl around. Perhaps get at their shot stone. San Francisco still just sitting 1.
Yeah, you just flipped it back out.
It looks like Jim Muyo looking for the
Guard it up.
guard.
We're still shot.
Root the broom next time. All right, thank you.
45-50 on this line? Okay. All right, it's not moving a whole lot on this line, but just be ready if we get that late break. To come over toward me, okay? All right, 45-50.
You're getting your weight out here.
50.
Yeah, and my buddy's fucking well. I watched my feel weight on the seven.
Three's good, three's good. Just clean it, clean it, clean it. Yep, yep. All right, guys, all the way hard. All the way hard. I didn't move at all.
There's a hole there, man.
All right. Seriously, guys, that didn't move at all.
You can't come after it this way.
Well, it's a top guard from Muyo.
So
Unhappy with the lack of movement.
So, what's that? It does, but you got to throw. I mean, I don't want you to throw Everett type weight. I want you to throw your normal head weight.
And it looks like there is still an avenue for Nova Sod to get in there for the takeout.
Coming that way.
Can they squeak it past the guard? Yes, they can. Is it going to curl enough? It's not going to curl enough. And in fact, it's going to take out Orlando's own stone from the second shot position. So now leaving San Francisco sitting 2.
Even if we just kind of corner sit on the inside of that.
I'm afraid if I give you more ice, it's
that's center line.
better. Right? If we chip that goat off of there. Oh, shoot.
Here is like perfect. No, for the rock. Yeah.
That's where you want it.
That's where I want it.
Looks like Muyo going for the guard again, but coming at it from the opposite side.
Another guard. We're going to go to the other side because it's not moving at all on May's side. So we'll get that late break to Adam. Just kind of halfway covering the inside of the yellow. Okay, so that takes away their raise and the straight hit. Okay. How's that? 45? 50 on the last one? Okay, so just a hair more then?
Yeah. All right. I was second. Yeah.
Well, that's true. Okay, let's go 50 because it's a little faster over here then.
And a pretty good explanation from Muyo himself there. Going for the guard, trying to take away both options of the raise and the draw for Orlando.
Clean only. Yep. Yeah, now. Hard now.
You heard him talking over different weights, the 40 versus 50. Give those an explanation in a minute.
No roll, okay. All right.
And that just didn't move the way they thought it would. So the avenue perhaps still there for a straight hit.
Sorry. Sorry.
For Nova Sod.
All right. So that one moved a ton. The first one didn't move at all. Right. Well, we thought it would be a little quicker there, but I think that we didn't quite catch outside enough to get past line. So my bad on that one, guys.
Okay, just make sure.
We're making them use a hammer.
As Muyo said,
Ready?
sometimes the object is to just make the other team use the hammer every time. Put pressure on them in such a way. Is it going to squeak by the guard? It is. It's going to squeak by the guard, and it's going to be a point for Orlando. A brilliant shot from Nova Sod puts Orlando on the board. It is tied up at 1 after 2.
I'm sorry? That he has.
Updating the scores from around the rink on sheet A, we have Captain Pickleback with a 5-0 lead over the Drunken Tortugas. Correction, they now have a 7-0 lead over the Drunken Tortugas. As they enter into the third end, they opened with a 5 spot in the first, followed it with 2 in the second, and look to really be taking control of the match as they sit 1 in the back 12 in the third. On sheet B, it's a 1-0 lead for Burned Rocks Tell No Tales over 5 sheets to the wind. And over on sheet D, it is the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club 2, the Scurvy Peaches none. As we make make our way into the third inning. And I would like to thank a couple more of our sponsors. Beasley Breakfast. Boy, that's a better breakfast. Head on over to any one of the couple thousand locations throughout the United States. Mention my name. They'll give you anywhere from 5 to 15% off your breakfast. And of course, we'd also like to thank Hannigan's Hardware, Hannigan's hometown hardware heroes. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, and we'll give you 10% off floors and shingles. I see Ari Warsiger is tuning in. He liked the shot from Nova Sod, and we wish Ari was here, but we appreciate his viewership. Yes, he was. He was quite the sight as he was helping with the ice prep between matches, wearing shorts and flip-flops. Yeah, with a broom and a snow shovel. But that's just how Ari rolls. You know, you just have to accept it and move on. You know, we all live in his world, and that's perfectly fine. Teams we are featuring. But let's talk first about the clubs. The San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club was founded in 1958 by, as I'm told, a bunch of Manitoba expats. Came down from Canada, said, hey, we need a spot to curl, and so they just made one. They had a 3-sheet dedicated ice facility. But after a couple of years, they weren't able to keep it due to dwindling membership, and spent most of the 60s, 70s, and 80s as self-described curling nomads. Pretty much wherever there was ice, they would show up and play. But as you can imagine, out in San Francisco, the opportunities were few and far between. But it was in the 90s when the San Jose Sharks built their practice facility in, I believe it's Oakland. They found a permanent home that they've been able to, or they were able to use ever since. However, they are currently building their own dedicated facility that has 5 sheets and should be opening sometime in January. They should be moving in January. They're all very excited about that. Their contingent is pretty strong at this point. They have somewhere around 200 members. So the state of curling in California seems to be pretty good. Now, as for the Orlando Curling Club, it was founded in 2014. On paper, at least, it was almost a year. It wasn't until 2015 where they actually got onto the ice to start playing. They have consistently grown ever since. As we see a pretty good draw to sit shot stone from San Francisco. Fully in the 8-foot. Yeah, but since 2015, the club has been steadily growing. They have had annual leagues, sometimes multiple leagues, often called hurricane leagues, as makes sense for our location right along Hurricane Alley. And this is the 3rd annual Pirates of the CurlRibbean Bonspiel that they have hosted. They actually play in 2 different locations. There is the RDV Center down in Maitland. It's a suburb of Orlando. But they also maintain a strong contingent over in the Daytona Ice Arena, which is where we are today. It's the same umbrella, same organization, just two different locations, two different times. The Daytona contingent usually plays host to the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Curling Club, which is affectionately called the Riddle Olympic Curling Society, or ROCS. It started out as just a couple of members, but after their first year grew to over 40 strong and had over 75 students and faculty come out and try it. So much so that they were able to organize teams and put together an entire semester-long league. So we'd like to give a shout out to the Embry-Riddle Curling Club. If there are any other collegiate curling organizations out there, they're always looking for other teams and schools to play. You could set up a series of exhibitions. That would be absolutely outstanding. Just give them a call. Or check them out on erau.connections. I'm sorry, connections.erau.edu. Looking to peel the top guard of Orlando's here. And will they get them both? Well, they will certainly get one. But the second of the two guard stones for Orlando is going to sit just touching the forefoot directly on the tee line. So it's going to be Orlando sitting 2. I see Kyle Rose sitting in the audience, enjoying the action on his phone instead of the ice. I did sound like a grumpy old man there, but I do not care. I've been called a grumpy old man since the time I was in elementary school, when I used to wear a suit and tie to school every day. I didn't have a backpack, I had a briefcase, that's right. I was that kid. Those who know me well are not surprised, but Kyle, I'm happy to say, is going to be heading off to the University of Minnesota Duluth in just 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks he leaves. And they have a strong curling contingent up there. That was one of the reasons he chose the school. Should be joining up on the team as soon as possible. Showing them how we curl down here in the South Florida. We wish him all the luck in the world. And if his brother Tyler is tuning in, dude, where you been, man? You may notice as Everett Wilson gets ready for his... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Darrow, yes!
He was just picking up his broom, but you may notice Everett Wilson, as he delivers, he does a stand-up stick delivery. It's entirely legal. As is the changing lineup. Instead of having your skip throw last, it's perfectly legal to have them throw wherever they want. In fact, there are some Olympic-level, professional-level teams that do the same thing. It's becoming more common than it ever used to be, though it is still the exception rather than any sort of norm. Nova Sod looking for the draw to possibly split the house. And Muyo will be able to sweep that to back 12, leaving Orlando sitting 3 for sure, but actually as we look at it, it looks like sitting 4 with a top biter towards the top of your screen.
We come up here, or we can come back up here. You have to switch to there.
But Everett Wilson with the stand-up stick delivery for those who may not
that
have the
guard,
flexibility
hopefully so
or
they can't.
may have
So
a
it's even if
nagging
we're
injury.
just got bite here. Try to be shot. Well, let me look at this real quick. Yeah, right on full force.
They can do a stand-up walking delivery instead, where they have what essentially amounts to a curling broom handle with a little clip on the end that goes on the clip of the stone. So they can just walk out of the hack and then give it a little push.
Ideally, we want to just bite the edge of the 4 foot over here on Adam's side. If it's heavy, take it all the way back and freeze on their yellow, okay?
Kind of flick towards our back.
Looking for the 4 foot draw or the freeze on the back yellow is Muyo.
I think he'd like to stop it on the shot. Well, the thing is,
40.
Maybe he comes this way and hits it there. Forward. Back on back and make a sit up. But the problem is, he comes this way, he can sit on sit down and get shot up.
No.
Shot coming down. Sweeper's being called on. Starting to curl, but will it be enough weight? It's going to take a slight nick off of the guard, and it's going to end just as a biter on the top 12.
All right.
So it's still going to be Orlando sitting 3 with 1 stone to play. You've heard Muyo talk a couple of times now about 40 or 40 weight, things like that. Players use stopwatches to time how long it takes certain types of shots to travel the distance of the ice. People time different shots using different markers. Some will do hog to hog, tee to tee, hack to hog, etc.
Just leave it. Don't even touch it. Leave it.
But they measure it in tenths and hundredths of a second. So a 40 weight
All right, give me middle 8 over here.
would be 40 tenths of a second for whatever distance measurement they're using for a draw.
Draw for 1 when you bite the 4 foot.
The smaller the number, the faster the shot, or the harder the shot. The higher the number, the more delicate, and therefore it's going to go a shorter distance. So say a high guard versus a takeout.
He's going to throw more weight this time than the last time.
And Muyo needing to draw into the 4 foot to...
Whoa, that's a roll, whoa.
To score here, or it could be a couple of points for Orlando.
Go hard, John. Real hard, John. Real hard.
Novosad is on it, and he's going to be able to sweep that out. It's going to be 3 points for Orlando. And they will take a 4-1 lead as we enter into the 4th end. You may have heard some screaming there. I'm pretty sure that was the Burned Rocks Tell No Tales over on sheet B. I have noticed their voice has a rather strong voice. That is the rink out of Jersey Pinelands, if I'm not mistaken. Taking on the Charlotte Kristen Conrad contingent of 5 sheets to the wind. And I can tell you right now that it is Conrad and 5 sheets to the wind with a 3-1 lead. In the 3rd end. Over on sheet A, it is no mercy for the Drunken Tortugas. Captain Pickleback putting up another 2 spot. It is 9-0. As the Visnich squad out of Pittsburgh is looking to really take down the team from the Loggerhead Curling Club down in South Florida.
Okay, whoa now. That's what? That's got plenty. That's two.
I can also tell you that over on sheet D, the Scurvy Peaches are on the board against the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club. It is 2-1. Still in favor of Jacksonville. And as Dave Horseman comes with his second shot, that's going to miss the takeout of the San Francisco Stone there on the back 4-foot. I'll tell you that he has curled for 38 years. He is a 6-time provincial finalist and 3 times as a player, 3 times as a junior coach. That's up in Canada. He is originally from Canada, though he moved down here, several years ago at this point. But not permanently. He winters in the Villages, but he summers in what looks like Alliston, Ontario.
Whoa then, whoa. Looks nice.
I'm sure a gorgeous area.
Get ready to bring it back if it comes.
Almost all of the Canadian country is
Roll.
absolute
Just hold the finish. Roll.
delight, as are the people.
Right, yeah. Nice shot.
Jim Muyo, on the other hand, is from Martinez, California. He started curling in 2013. And he placed 4th at the 2015 Arena Nationals in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He loves the game and he loves its people. And he works as a 911 dispatcher in San Francisco. And I can tell you right now, that is not a job that I would ever want to have. The amount of stress and emotion that would go into dealing with those types of situations, I give him all of the credit and props in the world.
5-6. It's got to come back. Stay with that.
With her second shot is May Eaton. She's from Oakland, California. She's originally from the East Coast and lived in Seminole and Panama City.
Okay, whoa.
Now, Panama City, I'm going to assume that that is Panama, the country,
Same shot, Joe.
and not a Panama City, Florida. Though I have noticed in my time living in Florida that they do have some town and city names that you would think were other places. She's an intellectual property attorney who started curling in 2018. Oh, and a nice takeout from Roberts. He only gets one of the stones. So it's still San Francisco sitting 1 with a stone in the back of the 4-foot. Ooh, slightly buried behind their own 2 guards.
This is okay, too.
Orlando perhaps looking to run their own stone in the 8-foot back into the San Francisco shot stone. But finishing up with May Eaton, she lives in Oakland. She has been for about 6 years. And the last 3.5 she has been with her beloved rescue pit bull Wyatt, who she says is objectively the most beautiful creature in existence. I don't know about that, but he sounds absolutely wonderful. If you have the means and you have the opportunity, do consider rescuing a pet. A very worthy cause. These animals are often pulled out of some terrible conditions, and they deserve a better home. And we get a good look at the previously mentioned stand-in delivery from Everett Wilson. It's much akin to the delivery of shuffleboard, though I can tell you right now, most true curlers would be rather insulted by the comparison, or any comparison of any kind, to shuffleboard.
Well, it depends on the line. Some are, some are not. You are correct. I want to try this, but we're going to bring the broom in. She was out with the previous two. So we'll try that again. Yep, see if we can pull it past this. Okay, won't it? Yeah. All right. Yes, sir!
So perhaps not the shot that San Francisco was looking for there, but the result might not be all too bad. They end up promoting the Orlando stone to the top of the 12-foot, but they have those 3 stones on the center of your screen all in a row that is going to make it very difficult to remove that back stone of San Francisco's, which is currently sitting shot. Orlando instead electing to draw in, it looks like. And they're going to get almost full 4 foot. It'll sit second stone, right on the tee line.
Backline hat.
An excellent draw from Wilson. However, it does leave San Francisco with an open hit and a potential roll underneath the other Orlando stones. In curling, a roll is when after a stone hits another stone, it then spins and ricochets in another direction, and the team sweeps it to perhaps bury it underneath a guard. And we might see it right here. They're going to try and roll it, and oh, that is a brilliant shot. Well done from the San Francisco contingent. Chris Mina bringing home the bacon with that hit and roll, really putting Orlando in a bind. They sit 2, completely buried. Dave Horseman now looking for answers. And that shot from Nova Sod, they were looking to just squirt past those top Orlando stones, see if they could get access to the button.
That's okay
Anything.
They end up not getting there, but it does move that top.
Higher the better.
That top stone perhaps giving them a better shot to try that same draw again if Muyo cannot put another barrier in their way.
Nice job on that hit and roll, guys.
Very nice. Curl, I mean, fucking
All right. We're going to guard that. So we're still sitting at 2.
Carl, yeah.
We're just not going to fuck around with this.
And that,
Pardon me, folks.
no, yours was thrown fine. Again, so where do I put the
75. It's that fast?
I did. I gave you the same ice
70. Okay. Okay.
Oh, no, I don't think they're really. I think they're playing a circus shot. I see a couple of circus shots out here, but I want to see if he puts this. Well, if he's... I think he's playing a guard.
2-3's good. We need the line.
I would have tried to play the shot that you were playing.
It's got plenty.
The problem is I don't want him to...
Not in the house. Not in the house.
No, don't get in there.
Muyo wanting this stone to not end up in the house. He's just looking for a low guard.
Same shot again.
That's doing nothing for us.
Might over curl? No, it's going to be just
I gave that.
good enough to really cut off access to the house.
Yeah. Here's what I gave you last time.
It's going to give Sean Novosad a real tough shot here. Novosad started curling 34 years ago in Elora, Ontario. He moved to Florida in 2000.
But go back out on the line. That might be a spot we can't get to.
And he was the second event winner of the Nashua Men's Spiel in 2019, earlier this year. Part of the Canadian contingent here on the...
Come on, Hud! Whoa.
The shot coming down, needing for it to curl, needing it to sit. Can they get it past that top stone? Can they get it? No, it's not going to have enough. It is going to be 2 points for San Francisco, guaranteed, with one more shot to play.
If anything, I'm going to be light. Okay?
Bring it back. Would have been back. Probably would have been shot off.
We're still sitting at 2. We're still sitting at 2. We're going to try and catch a third right on the outside. We just need to fight outside of the 4-foot. Give ourselves a nice lot of room, right? We don't want to over curl and go into that path, okay? So nice and wide out here. It's a little faster.
It's slower out.
All right, so I'm going to give it a little more than last time.
And also,
50.
his last words.
Okay.
His last words were, "I'm not going to be light."
Huh?
Trying to go in here?
He's trying to get a piece of the 4-foot.
Pro side would be wide. So he doesn't come in here, yeah.
I don't think it'll curl. There's a spot out there. If you get out far enough, it just starts to go. If it gets inside.
Also a little dangerous if you miss.
Yeah, he's a lot wider out there, Sean.
Yep.
Actually, he's got a shot. See, but look at it running. You see it's not curling, man. That's what Evs did. He's not going to get that 4-foot. Or is he may very well get to.
Look up!
What a shot. What a shot.
And another draw in from Muyo. Is it going to be enough for 3?
Yeah. No good. Heck of a shot.
Going to have to wait for the scoreboard. It was too hard to tell from this angle.
Thank you.
But as best we could tell, it was definitely 2 points. We think it was 3 points.
Great.
Which could, in fact, tie up this game.
Great.
Times am I going to do that this weekend? That's the second time that's happened to me this week. I poured a glass of water and I poured 3. Cap falls off. What? Oh.
Wait on.
So as we start the fifth end, it is time for fifth end fun facts. We will run down a couple more things about our
Wait only, guys.
teams today.
All right.
Before we get to, we have a special guest interview just later on.
All right, very good.
So Everett Wilson from Team Orlando started curling 55 years ago at Exmoor as a 12-year-old.
Yep.
There's more combined curling experience on the Young Bucks and Old Salts Orlando team than there might perhaps be in the rest of the Bonspiel combined. But he is a 2-time mixed nationals finalist. He moved to the Villages from Chicago this past May.
Guard's good.
And he was actually an official at the Worlds not too long ago.
5.
I'd also like to mention that Papa Dave Horseman was the
5.
coach of the U.S. women's team at the 2005 World Trials. I have to get my research department to know how well they did.
Line's okay. Where are we at? Okay, whoa.
And as Joe Roberts says,
up.
fun fact for him, he has watched curling on TV.
Kiss and roll. Yep. No, that one.
I was talking to them earlier, and the other three were giving rundowns of their credentials and history with the sport, and I got to Joe, and he simply said, yep, and I have watched curling once or twice. No, but the truth is he started curling as an original OCC member. He was the runner-up at the Peachtree Spiel in 2017 and second event winner at the Nashua Men's Spiel with Sean Novosad. And he's been with Papa Horse at the Exmoor Continental Spiel twice before. And he's certainly a club favorite here in Orlando. And a good takeout there from Horseman. Leaves Orlando sitting 1 out in the 12-foot. Chris Mina, the vice for the San Francisco club, is a San Francisco Bay Area native. He started curling in 2010. He came to the first Pirates Spiel and loved it. And he says his many travels have taken him all over the U.S. and Canada. And he has been to Iceland several times. And in fact, it was last year he brought 2 Icelanders to this very Bonspiel to curl with him. And he won the Ice Cup in 2017 in Iceland, which is absolutely fantastic. I've never heard a disparaging thing said about the country of Iceland, to be honest. They also have a brilliant flag. I don't know if anyone is into vexillology at all, but check it out online. It's a classic Nordic cross, but the colors are just outstanding. And rounding out the R2-D2 squad is Adam Price from Oakland, California. He started curling in 2018. He's a software engineer, born and raised in New Jersey, but he's been living in California for 6 years. He's curled at several spiels in Phoenix, Denver, and Seattle. And he plays a halfling monk in Dungeons and Dragons for any of you D&D fans out there. But speaking of New Jersey, we have a member of the Jersey Pinelands Curling Club here with us. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Michelle Bade from Jersey Pinelands.
Yep, and you've played as their lead for a couple of matches this tournament, right?
Yes. We when we travel, we try to take a 5-person team in case somebody gets hurt or sick or something, or overindulges. So I played 2 matches and I volunteered to sit out today. So.
Okay. And how did those matches go? How'd you do it?
They were great. I mean, we won our first 2. We came really close to winning our third yesterday with San Francisco. The skip came up with 2 amazing shots.
That's right.
Takeouts,
That's right. You played San Francisco yesterday. It was you had a 3-point lead in the final shot, and Julio had a triple takeout.
Yes.
To tie it up, right, and send it to skip stones.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You have to tip your hat. That was an amazing shot.
Best shot of the tournament so far, I would say. And then he had a draw in to the 4-foot to win on skip stones, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But you guys had a comeback of your own on the first day, right? Weren't you down?
Yes, we did the second game against Jacksonville. We were down 7-1, and we ended up winning 8-7. So it was
holy cow!
Amazing, just
7 points.
Great game.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It was great games.
So tell us about the Jersey Pinelands Curling Club.
We are celebrating our 5th anniversary. We were founded in 2014.
Okay.
We've been located at the Igloo Ice Arena in Mount Laurel, but we have just moved. We're going to open up our new home next week. Tyler, no, it's still arena.
Okay.
But Tyler George is going to come out and visit with us.
Oh, I have met him. He is outstanding.
Yeah, he's coming Friday for dinner, and then Saturday he's going to come out for our first stones at our new home in Pennsauken at the Flyers Skate Stone. So we're affiliated with the Philadelphia Flyers now. The rinks are, so we have access to a couple of other rinks as well, and who knows, maybe we'll have a spiel in Atlantic City one day.
Oh, that's outstanding.
We'll see, because they have a rink there as well. We do host a one-day spiel in July. We call it the Devil Spiel.
Okay.
And we just had that. That was our 5th one of those, and it's been a great time, a lot of fun.
That's kind of like the one-day Florida spiel that the Orlando Curling Club hosts.
Okay.
We did one last December. We have one coming up in October where we invite all of the Florida curling clubs to come play each other one day.
Excellent.
To sort of crown a champion of the state.
The state, right.
Now, are there other clubs in New Jersey that you could sort of do that with as
Yes,
well?
actually we do. We do something called the Turnpike Challenge.
Sure.
There's one other club in New Jersey, Plainfield.
Okay.
They're in North Jersey. We're more South Jersey. So we started that a few years ago, and because up to that time they used to have T-shirts that said, New Jersey State Champions, but they were the only club. So we kind of took them on with the challenge, and we actually did beat them one year.
Okay.
So we've been doing that. I think this was our 3rd one this year.
Okay, cool.
So
very good.
Yeah, so we do that. So it's a lot of fun.
So how big is your club?
We have about 60 members.
60 members, good.
60 members. We have 20 or 25 that travel pretty well. Some of us, we were in California last month for the Hollywood Spiel.
Okay.
Experienced an earthquake while we were out there.
I heard about that. Yeah, what was that like?
That was pretty scary because, being on the East Coast, you don't really have those. You have maybe just a little bit of, a little bit, but
I've never experienced one.
No, it was like you were swaying on a boat where we were, and we actually had one while we were in the arena as well. We weren't on the ice.
I was just going to say, were people on the ice?
Yes, there were. There was. We were waiting for our match, and there were people out there.
Holy cow!
Yeah. So.
Did it move all the rocks around?
No. It kind of more sways than it does. Like they're used to seeing in the movies where
where it's like a real
rumble. Because we were about 150 miles away, I guess, from the epicenter. Yeah. So, but so we've been at it for 5 years. We were founded 2014, and we're just growing now with the Olympic bump and everything. So it's been great. A great time.
So you've enjoyed your time here?
Oh yeah, the spiel has been excellent. Everybody's been wonderful. We're going to do a little sightseeing. We're staying tomorrow.
Okay.
Do a few things. We're going to go into Orlando. We're debating. We might go to Universal. We might just hang at the resort where we're staying and have mini golf and a lazy river and a couple of things. So.
We here at the Orlando Club have dreams about a dedicated facility that has a lazy river between the sheets, so that you can sweep your way down, then hop on a raft and just float back to the hack.
That would be That would be great.
We were talking to Dan the Iceman earlier, and he says that all that hot water next to the ice wouldn't necessarily be a good idea.
No, I don't think so. No, it would hurt a bit. But everything's been fabulous. We've had an excellent time, great time.
Outstanding. So do you have? Do you end up playing a lot of those spiels?
We do. We've traveled a lot
Yourself?
this year. Yeah, I have. I went to California. We went to Rhode Island for the GNCC
The Arena Nationals. I was there. Absolutely.
Yep.
How did you fare in that?
My team didn't do too well. We had 3 teams there, actually.
Did you really?
We did.
Wow.
We had 3. They had some openings for a third
They
team,
did.
and we
They
threw
did.
one together.
Yep.
Some of the girls, I play also on playing field as well as my second team, dedicated. But we've had girls that go to the regular, the USWCA or USCA Arena Nationals.
Yeah.
We actually were the host club for that this year.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yes, and we did pretty well. We were playing on Sunday there too, so.
Okay.
We went to the Childs. We had a ladies team at the Childs, 2 ladies teams in Bucks County.
Sounds like the women's game in New Jersey is really strong.
Yeah. We do. We travel pretty well. We try to tie in other things with it, so it's touristy too. We went to the Olympic trials in Omaha. That was amazing. We got to actually play on the ice.
Did you really?
5 of us went, and
must have been incredible.
they had a little spiel too. So we brought our stuff, and then when they put the ice in, they needed people to kind of break the ice in because they don't like to put the curlers out on the virgin ice.
Sure.
So we got to play one of our games on one of the sheets.
that's
It
wild.
was like you were afraid to get on your knee or anything. You don't want to mess the ice up for these.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we got pictures taken, with John Schuster and
I've met him too. And
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
so sweet.
Mhm. Yeah, we're very lucky with where we live. When the athletes came to New York after they won the gold medal in Bryant Park, we got to
You were
go
able
out
to
there.
pop up and see
Yeah,
them.
we
Yeah,
were, and we got
yeah.
some pictures there too and everything. So
Yeah.
it's been good. So we're really looking forward to the Tyler George event.
Oh yeah,
This
he is my
Good.
curling hero.
Is he?
I
Okay.
got to take a picture with him and the gold medal.
Oh yeah, and
I have it on my wall in my
that's the
bedroom.
thing. We went to Bryant Park. They're very free with those medals. We're like, here, hold them, and we're like,
absolutely.
oh my
It's like,
gosh.
are you serious?
And they're like, it
Do you
belongs to the
realize what this
country.
is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it belongs to the country. It doesn't belong to me. So they're very cool guys.
Yeah, they really are.
So we're it's a good way to meet people, good way to see the country, and make new friends. So it's
Well,
been
I
great.
can tell you that it looks like your team just closed the gap a little bit, so you're down only 2 now
Excellent.
as you're going into the 5th end.
Yep. There we go.
But it was a pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks
thank you.
for talking with us. Tell us
Yeah.
all about what's going on in New Jersey.
Okay. Thank you too for having me, and good curling.
Absolutely, yeah. Good
Okay.
curling. Good luck in the future
Thank
to you
you.
and your club.
Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. That was Michelle Bade from the Jersey Pinelands Curling Club. Got to hear about all the goings on up in the Northeast. And here in the 5th end, it is Orlando sitting 1 in a tie game. It was, in fact, 3 in that last end for San Francisco. Sean Novosad with the hammer throw. Orlando looking for 2 points if they can just freeze up against their own stone. All they need is something touching the 8-foot. And it's very delicately done. Oh, and they're looking at a 3rd stone. It's going to be 2 points guaranteed for Orlando, but we didn't see the top stone there at the top of your screen. Looks like they might be calling for a measurement. Nope. Nope, not calling for a measurement. I think they're being given the 3 points. So preliminarily speaking, it's 3 points Orlando and a 7-4 lead over the R2D2s. Yes, it is 3 points, I can officially say. So a big end for Orlando, another 3-pointer. And as we head to the sixth end, it is 7-3 over the R2D2s of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Now we'll try and get a good shot of them at some point, but if you haven't seen the t-shirts of the San Francisco squad, they are in fact of the famed R2D2, the great droid himself. He's wearing a vest, an eye patch with a pirate hat, a parrot, and a peg leg. And underneath it, they were able to put on as a label R2D2 spelled ARR, then the number 2-D2 to give it the pirate feel to it. And I'm told I was asking them how they were able to make those shirts and if they would make me one. As it turns out, they didn't make them at all. These are something that you can find somewhere on the internet. Apparently they're on Amazon, so I gotta get my research crew onto this so I can order myself one. I mean, anything with R2D2 wearing an eye patch and a peg leg, I mean, how can that not be amazing? And being the massive Star Wars nerd that I am, I would wear that night and day. And before we started this end, there was a bit of confusion, I believe, as to the scoring, with Jim Muyo coming down to talk to both his team and a couple of members from Orlando. Can only hope that that was sorted out without any malice or ill will. Things heating up over on sheet B, as you may have just heard. And on sheet A, I can tell you that the Loggerhead Curling Club Drunken Tortugas are on the board. They scored a point in the fourth end, though it is still Captain Pickleback out of Pittsburgh with a 9-1 lead, in full control of that match. The Jacksonville Granite Curling Club over on sheet D has a 4-1 lead over the Scurvy Peaches from Peachtree. And with the takeout, it is an open house for Dave Horseman and Joe Roberts, looking to draw in behind two high guards.
Bring it back here, bring it back. Bring it back. All the way back.
Excellently controlled draw from Roberts. Puts Orlando in shot position with a stone just barely touching the button. just at the back of the tee line. The tee line, for those who don't know, is the black line that dissects horizontally across your screen the house, the button being the center of it. And in that button you see the intersection of the two black lines, the other being the center line. So as you see from your shot, the center line would go across your screen, the tee line would go vertically directly through it. And a good draw from San Francisco. Horseman looking for the takeout, however. Leave Orlando, if they can roll but stick the shooter, possibly sit two.
All day. Yep.
And that's a mistake they're not going to be happy with. They end up popping out all the good work that Roberts did with his first shot, leaving San Francisco sitting one, although the Orlando shot at the top of the 4-foot is buried pretty well behind those two guards, and the San Francisco stone has an open hit available if May Eaton fails to cover it up with a guard here.
Hard, guys, hard. We're on the tap now. Not a 6. Yep.
Instead, it's going to be a slight guard promotion for Eaton. And it is Horseman going for the takeout again. Calling for the sweep of Wilson's shot. Is it going to skirt by the guard? It will, and it will get the shot stone. It will roll out, leaving Orlando sitting one buried. A good shot from Wilson. Who I would wager, with his 55 years of curling experience, is the most experienced curler at the Bonspiel here this weekend.
Heavy is okay. Do not be light. Heavy's okay.
In fact, he's been curling longer than most people have been alive here at the at the Pirates of the CurlRibbean Spiel. With all that experience comes a lot of wisdom and a fair amount of skill as well. San Francisco looks like they're going for the promotion. Tap their own stone back into the Orlando stone. The angle is not going to be quite right, though. So they'll be left in the 8-foot, with Orlando still sitting one. Horseman looking to put up a high guard to plug up that hole. Leave Muyo and Mina with nothing to draw through.
What do you got? What do you got? Whoa, it's not curling. Back here, back here, back here. All the way back, Sean. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, that's fine. I just don't want to give him anything easy. Okay, that's fine. Nice guard, Ed. Kind of reminds me of a second I had 25 years ago that couldn't throw a guard.
Muyo calling for back house weight. It looks like he's really going to throw.
Well, you didn't hit the backboard.
Throw the high heater like Horseman says Wilson just did. Looking for a promotion or takeout of some kind. If he can get the angle right, he could throw the San Francisco guard back into the Orlando Stone, but it's going to miss everything and go straight through the house. Muyo certainly not happy with that. So it'll be Novosad stepping in for the final two shots. Horseman looking for the same guard Wilson was trying to throw.
No. Don't need to give him anything. They're going to get a double off it.
Trying to cut off access from Muyo to the button or the 4-foot to draw in. But as you heard Horseman say, not give him anything to double off of.
Now, I think in that, maybe a hairless ice because we never caught the curl. It's his third try at this shot. He tends to throw it a lot cleaner than the third goes. I just don't think there's any way to hit that green over there either. No, that's I thought he was playing the tap. Actually, the hole's there. There's a hole there to get a try right.
You can hear Horseman in the background talking strategy over with Novosad. As Muyo's shot comes down. Looking to try and thread the needle through there. Oh, is he going to be able to squirt past? No, he's not going to be able to get past the guard. In fact, he's going to plug that hole himself.
Problem is, I can't get there. Can't get there. Oh, wait a minute. This side doesn't curl. Get coast that way. Yeah, no, I like it where it is. Unless we tap this. I give you the same ice if you tap that. I like that.
Horseman calling for another draw from Novosad. If it comes out light and they end up with another guard, they've cut off all access to the 4-foot. Horseman calling for the sweep.
Real hard, hey! Come on, boys, hey!
Oh, if it squirts past those guards, it just might squirt in. Oh, can they get it to the 4-foot? They can. A brilliant shot from Novosad. Orlando sitting 2. Buried behind 3 San Francisco guards. It just took a tick off of Novosad's previous shot in the 8-foot and used it to roll straight onto, straight next to, freeze right to the shot stone, really putting Muyo in a bind.
Actually, no, I really.
So as Muyo and Mina try and figure out exactly what they're going to do here, it looks like they're going to go for the straight promotion. Muyo's going to throw the high heater, hit his own stone just to the right of the nose, and have that throw back into the pocket of the two Orlando stones, sending them off in opposite directions and leaving his own on the edge of the 4 foot.
Nice there, and this tough shot. And if he hits the perfect purple, he'll get 2.
I can tell you right now, it is a very low percentage shot. However, he hit one of the lowest percentage shots you could to win his match yesterday against Jersey Pinelands, as you heard earlier during the 5th end. Ooh. So Eaton takes a fall. Muyo ends up exploding several stones. There's going to be a discussion here about what Eaton may have hit and kicked into the house. There was one green stone that ended up in. Let's see if we can hear what they're saying.
Would it have hit that yellow?
I'm sorry?
Would you have backed up onto our yellow? Yeah, you were trying for this green.
really important.
The rock was backing up all the way. Would you have hit our yellow?
I think it would have hit the yellow.
Then it would have been on the green. Then it would have come back onto your green. So we would have got 4. If that was going to happen,
It would have got. I mean, you guys are license. It's ultimately
question
your
is,
guys'
question
call.
is, you were going to get your green, you would have spilled off that way.
By the time she fell, I couldn't see the rocket fall.
Are you okay, by the way? Other than the bruise, you
You guys decide.
Well, we couldn't hear what the final decision was, but I can tell you it comes down to, when you have a situation like this, it comes down to a discussion between Vices and Skips about what the stones would have done had the player not fallen and hit other stones. It really becomes a guessing game where both Skips need to agree on what they think would have happened, where stones would have ended up.
No, I was watching it. In fact, when we put the broom down, I actually told our guy, let's put it back up into the yellow. So, I mean, I feel bad I didn't end up driving that way, but I think we would have got the 4. Okay.
I saw her pull that one rock. That's why I didn't realize she touched it. I thought she just touched the one at the front.
Yeah, it's
It
a
looked to me like
4
it was on
spot.
the yellow.
It's
It looked to
Orlando
me like it was
taking
on
the
yellow.
4
If he was flying
points
green.
to open up an 11-4 lead over San Francisco.
Throw it through.
An unfortunate break for the San Francisco team, both on the Muyo shot, not quite doing what they wanted. Being put on the back burner from the start with those buried stones, but also from the resulting fall and the San Francisco stones that end up getting moved out.
Still aim.
Oh yeah. It was,
I feel like you said it, and then like the next throw was like we had to throw that exact shot, and you were like, now you know what the ice is still doing.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what I did.
I saw you.
It actually backed up.
Right.
It actually backed up.
Yeah, you can hear Roberts and
I thought for sure he was on
Horseman
our
talking
yellow
about.
to our green. Sorry, on our yellow to his green, they would have got the 4.
Yeah. I thought that top one, that one was coming in, but I think she.
I know, but I don't know how much she.
Right.
So I get that.
What you did, it's done, it's out. Right. Okay, that was a tough.
I feel bad about it, but
Yeah,
hey,
so much weight.
the other way to look at it.
When stuff's flying.
Yeah,
Is it in the rings?
it is awfully hard to hear, but
Good shot.
it goes down as 4 points for Orlando. You can hear Horseman saying that he feels bad about it, but there wasn't much he could do when some of those green stones get hit and moved, and it's impossible to an extent to tell where they would have ended up.
Yeah.
So Horseman playing the smart game here. When you take a big lead towards the end of a match, you don't want rocks in play that the other team can use, that they can freeze to or bounce off of. So unlike some mantras of certain teams this weekend, the Orlando squad does not want rocks in houses. Leaving San Francisco to throw the corner guard and try and draw around it. I can give you an update on other scores. From around the sheets, it is over on sheet A. Handshakes just a minute ago. Captain Pickleback with zero hesitations, giving the Drunken Tortugas of the Loggerhead Curling Club no quarter. Final score 13-1. It is over. Captain Pickleback with the win. On sheet B, it is 5 sheets to the win, with a 4-point lead over Burned Rocks Tell No Tales, 8-4. And on sheet C, it was the Scurvy Peaches with 1 in the 5th end and 2 in the 6th, tying up the score at 4 as we go into the 7th end. Getting down to crunch time, it was the Scurvy Peaches with a 2-point steal. But here in our featured match, it is Orlando in control with an 11-4 lead over the R2-D2s of San Francisco. Orlando currently sitting shot stone with their rock on the top 12-foot just biting, and a draw around perfectly just biting the tee line in the 8-foot. Takeout from San Francisco just missing there, and things have not gone right for the San Francisco squad the last couple of ends. After giving up a 3-pointer, they take a 3-pointer to tie up the score, but then give it right back and then follow it up with the unfortunate 4-pointer.
Nice. Where is it?
seventh end here in the A event finals is brought to you by the physical act of drinking. Beverages go in, they go down, they get processed, eventually they come out. Drinking. Do it for your health. And I don't mean, okay, that was taken the wrong way. I mean drinking as in liquids, not alcohol.
Actually, let me give you a little more.
I mean things like water, people.
Oh, and you took a little more.
Bunch of wild hooligans, you. Yeah, you gotta get your electrolytes. So, Gatorade? Got it. Wasn't there a movie, It's Got Electrolytes? Idiocracy. That's what it was. Luke Wilson, 2006, I believe. I never saw it, but you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, instead of using water for everything, they used, I think it was Brando, which was essentially their version of Gatorade, because it had electrolytes. Electrolytes are fine, people, but it's water. Water that makes the world go round. Water that makes the world wet. Thank you, rain. Thank you, drinking. The physical act of drinking, sponsor of the seventh end. So Novosad with his first of 2 shots of this seventh end. Orlando's still sitting 1 and protecting that with a whole host of guards. It's San Francisco really running out of options and running out of stones and time. These matches are only 8 ends long, and if San Francisco can't score a couple here, they simply won't have enough to get back into this game in the 8th end. Perhaps tie it up or take the win. So these final 2 shots really critical for Jim Muyo. He's going to go for the takeout, try and split those 2 guards. Hopefully they can roll one or both of the green stones just touching the 8-foot into the shot position. Maybe even in the process take out the Orlando stone. But at the very least open up the opportunity to gain access to take it out with his next shot. Oh, and it's going to be close, but it's just going to be a bit too hard. So Orlando is still going to sit 1. With Muyo wondering what else he could possibly do. If Horseman draws in here to the open house or perhaps throws up a guard to block access to the 4-foot. And instead, overcooking it, Novosad is going to throw it through, leaving the hammer shot for Muyo, looking to find a way to perhaps score a couple, at least one here, to give themselves some sort of opportunity in the final end. There are only 8 stones to play with, so you could only ever score at least 8, or at most 8 points. But ends of 6 points or more are so rare. If someone can actually pull it off, you'll hear about it for the rest of their life. So it's a draw to the 4-foot for 1 for Muyo. It'll be 11-5, and it is handshakes here in the A event finals. It will be the Orlando Curling Club squad, Young Bucks and Old Salts, taking the championship, taking down the San Francisco contingent. Congratulations to them. This handshake moment brought to you by Time. Time, it keeps ticking along. So, selfies being taken of the 2 finalists. Well, selfies not being taken, pictures being taken. Wow, I sounded old with that one, yeah. Hey there, could you take a selfie of me? No, I couldn't.
Except that we're out further, so, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Like maybe the
Pictures being taken, directions being given for those pictures. And an awards ceremony to come later. So the final score, 11-5. The Orlando Curling Club taking down their own championship. Over on sheet D, the score is tied at 4 in the 7th end, but I can tell you the Jacksonville Granite Curling Club is currently sitting, it looks like 2, with 2 stones for Jacksonville to throw, 1 for the Scurvy Peaches. So that match getting down to crunch time. Over on sheet B, it is an 8-4 lead for 5 sheets to the wind over the Burned Rocks Tell No Tales of Jersey Pinelands. Kristen Conrad's squad looking to take down that final. But in your featured match, once again, it was the Young Bucks and Old Salts led by Dave Papa Horseman from the Orlando Curling Club, taking down Jim Muyo and the contingent from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. 11-5 was the final. A lot of shot making throughout this entire tournament. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. We're grateful to have you. We're grateful to all the teams and all the players for participating. Couldn't have done it without them, obviously. We'd like to thank all of our volunteers. We'd like to thank Dan, the Iceman, for making everything so smooth for us. I would like to thank my broadcast team, the duo of Jim and Tom Windsor. Certainly my research team, Eric Mader there. I'd like to thank him very much. Jordan Cuoco as well, helping out yesterday. Your final fact of the afternoon, this was a hoot and a half. This is Brian Burrs signing off.
Now I'm a broken man on the Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. So here I lay in the 23rd year. I wish I was insured right now. It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday. God damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
Running down to Cuba with a load of sugar. Wavy boys to Cuba. Make her run, you lime to squeeze us. Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys to Cuba. Running down to Cuba. Oh, I got a sister, she's 9 feet tall. Wavy boys to Cuba. She sleeps in the kitchen with her feet in the hall. Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys to Cuba, hey! Running down to Cuba. The captain, he will trim the sails. Wavy boys to Cuba. Winging the water over the rails. Running down to Cuba. Wavy boys.